I'm super excited. We could give a standing ovation and a round of applause for my brother, Mr. Daniel Dickey. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Let's go. Give us some more. We want energy here, guys. Energy. Let's go.
Good morning, people of Earth. Had a long night last night. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for having me. And so I'll start off with a little bit more about who I am, and so I am a real Renaissance man. So I'm very much someone who's very well-versed and very well capable and degreed and tenured in a lot of different spaces. I do own one of the top and award-winning brand management and strategy consulting agencies in the city. My agency is called the Resource Guild. In that space, I was the PR director to launch One Music Fest, Steve Harvey Events, 2 Chainz, Street Exec Studios. I launched Duce in Atlanta. I launched Ciroc Amaretto in Atlanta. I launched Ciroc Mango in Atlanta. I've launched so many different restaurants, so many different brands, so many different artists in that space. But I am also a singer-songwriter. I went to college on vocal scholarship. As a solo artist, I've been blessed to open for John Legend, Jagged Edge, Carl Thomas, 112, Ryan Leslie, Robert Glasper. I did NBA All-Star Weekend 2019. And then I am also an activist. I am the chairman of the Young Professional Advisory Board for Jose F. the Hungry and Homeless, an organization birthed out of the civil rights movement by Reverend Hosea Williams. And then I also mentor young black men through the Barack Obama Foundation. And then I consult with a lot of the top activists across the world on how to be more present with their brands and then using the leverage that is associated with their brands to move more needles forward. I'm somebody who I still play in the celebrity basketball games. My nickname is Chubb Curry. I'm still a bucket. Don't get it fucked up. I know I don't look like I'm him, but I'm him. I still play tennis, and I'm very much a person who believes that life is for the living. And so then in my lineage, I am actually I'm named after my 2 grandfathers. And my dad's dad, where I get Daniel from, he was one of the first black doctors in Wilmington, North Carolina, where I'm from. He was the co-plaintiff in the litigation that integrated the hospitals in Wilmington, North Carolina, and he was also the co-plaintiff in the litigation that integrated the school systems in Wilmington, North Carolina. And so my other grandfather is the second longest tenured reverend in the history of the First Missionary Baptist Church. So for me, figuring out how to get paid to be myself was the ultimate play. That was the play. How do you get paid to just be you? And I figured that out through branding and through public relations, and through just being someone who monetized what it means to be connected. All right, and so today I'm going to talk to you guys about expanding your brand, and the kind of the variations between public relations and branding. All right, and so slide 1 for me is, Bill Gates once said that if he was down to his last dollar, he would spend it on public relations. So public relations creates conversations to increase your share of voice, enhance your reputation within a brand's industry, and engage with consumers and ultimately generate results. That's what public relations essentially is. And why does public relations matter? According to Public Relations News, public relations is the management function which evaluates public attitudes, identifies the policies and procedures of an individual or an organization with the public interest, and plans and executes a program of action to earn public understanding and acceptance. A public relation practitioner's importance is changing. According to the fall of advertising and the rise of PR, American marketing strategists argue that public relations has become the most effective way to build a brand. Well-known brands like Mac and PlayStation and Sony and Harry Potter and Tyler Perry, They spend little on brand name advertising. The same is true for many entrepreneurial companies like you guys. Business owners become known in their respective fields of concentration many times really and ascend through public relations and associated media generated. And so with that, there's so many people that are doing so many things. Like everything that you guys are doing, there's so many people that are doing the things that you do, correct? So here's how public relations sets you apart from your compadres or your because at the end of the day, it's one thing when you say how dope you are. It's one thing when you say how you're killing it. You know, it's one thing to say you're 10xing and all of those different things that are very cliche in the space. But it's a different conversation when Inc. magazine says that you're 10xing. It's a different conversation when Black Enterprise says that you're doing these things. It's a different conversation when it's happening from people that you can't pay to talk about your dopeness. Okay? And so you do that stuff through a publicist. Because if no one knows you, who is your consumer? Chris was just talking about target audience earlier and having your targets. If your targets can't go somehow and verify you through content that's just not stuff that you're originating yourself, then it's given. I mean, we're in cap culture at the highest level. There's so many fraudulent gurus. I mean, you know, people go straight from teething to guru. Okay, and so you know. Look, and if that was funny, feel free to laugh. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like this. But to get the word out about you, your company, your products and services to those who could potentially buy from you, public relations is just one part of what we feel at the Resource Guild should be a 360-degree view of managing a brand as effectively and expanding a brand is, and it's compromised and it's comprised of many things. The good news about this is our approach is the cost and the effectiveness when it's in front of your target market. Our approach at the Resource Guild, and that's the name of my agency, we are an award-winning brand management and strategy consulting agency. And our approach includes branding, it includes public relations, it includes advertising, it includes consumer engagement, it includes celebrity procurement, it includes sponsorship procurement, it includes content strategy, it includes social media management. But for me, that all came from the fact that I have 22,000 contacts in my phone. Okay? And so that means that I probably have 10 people I could call for any essential functionality that a business owner could have. You know what I'm saying? And so and for me with those contacts, because I'm very intentional about the way that I interact and communicate, every contact in my phone is a first name, a last name, a cell phone, and an email address. Maybe, you know, if it's, you know, it just depends on the contact, what kind of other notes I might put in. I might put fine-ass girl I met at Compound, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, cutie from the nail bar, like just whatever it is. But there's some kind of context, so, and then if it's associated with what they do, then I can do that. If I'm looking for a keyboard player, I can type in keyboard, and then my phone will tell me all the people that I know that play the keyboard. And so that's going to be really good for you guys as you guys are managing your contacts and expanding your contacts. But our approach is one that includes research, planning, strategy, and then measurement of success. And one of the ways we measure success is, of course, through media hits. Okay? If you are hiring somebody to be your publicist, their essential function should make you be on somebody's news platforms. You should be on somebody's blogs. You should be on somebody's radio shows. You should be on somebody's podcast. You should be on those things. That's a legitimate publicist. That's legitimate public relations. Putting your brand, your name in the news. Okay? And one of the first things that we utilize to get our clients featured in all the major publications, as we have for as long as we've been in business, is a press kit. Okay? And this press kit is something that you all need. Okay? And so your press kit should have a few things in it that I think should be important in your press kit. One is your bio. Raise your hand if you've done a pretty decent bio of yourself. 2 people have done a decent bio, and all I said was decent. I didn't say stellar, extraordinary, amazing, any of those things, just decent. Okay, so you guys need to actually take ownership of who you are And one of the easiest and earliest ways to do that is through your own bio. Like, you know who the fuck you are in a way that no one else does. Okay? And this is that moment for the people who are, you know, who, I'm low key, I'm just low key, which I think is stupid. First. Because if our kids are going to be what they see, how will they benefit from our anonymity? Like, how does being low-key benefit the next generations? We know that as soon as we open up our phone, we can find some foolishness. They need to see that there's people that look like them that are doing positive, productive things that aren't toxic to anyone. So I don't believe that you guys should be anonymous. I don't believe you should be low-key. I think that that's something that only our oppressors benefit from. Okay? So your press kit should include your bio, and that should have a real look at who you are. It should, you know, tell us where you're from. It should tell us maybe a bit about your education. It should tell us about your passions, and it should tell us about what you do in business. What do you do to make money, and what do you do that transfers over to other people in those ways? So it should include your bio. It should include any mentions that you've ever had in any news, if that's ever happened. Those should be in your press kit. It should include some cool photos of you. You know, those can be very, very professional, or they could just be cool iPhone photos. It doesn't really matter as long as the photos come out and can be utilized. All right, and so then it should include any things that you've done. If you've done any cool speaking engagements, any awards that you've won, this is that moment, you know, so where you can just let that speak for you to a certain degree as you move forward. Okay, all right, and so what is a brand? All right, and so 3 functions of a brand. A brand should help you with navigation. Brands help consumers choose from an array of choices. Okay, it should be reassurance. Okay, brands communicate the quality of the product or service and reassure the customers of their choice. If you notice now, anytime you're looking at commercials and stuff like that, what you're seeing is them talking about their product, sometimes directly or indirectly, but then also letting you know that, hey, we're the best at doing it. If we won awards, they'll let you know. Like, you look at a car commercial, this is the, you know, it's been HHA certified, 10-year certified SUV of the year, all of those different kinds of things. This is that moment, and these are those moments where that stuff needs to be communicated. And then engagement. Brands use distinctive imagery, language, and associations to encourage customers to identify with the brand. Like, if I just say ba-da-ba-ba-ba, what brand do you think about? Easy. And that's not even words. That's what we call onomatopoeia. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's not a thing. But we automatically think about McDonald's because of what they do with the significance of their branding. Okay? And so your brand touch points.
That's deep.
Yeah. And so your brand touch points should include a lot of different things, from social networks to blogs, public relations, direct mail, trade shows, word of mouth, mobile, video, presentations, speeches, your products, your services, all of those things, your website, the experiences that people can have, your environments, your testimonials, your business forms, your newsletter, your proposals, all of those things, your letterhead, your business cards, your billboards, all of those things are associated with what your brand is. And why is branding important? Branding is a disciplined process used to build awareness and extend customer loyalty. And I want to repeat that, because branding is a disciplined process used to build awareness and extend customer loyalty. And when we talk about discipline, discipline is one of the cruxes and the Achilles heels of any type of sustainable brand growth. Okay? Like, people need to know that you're committed to your brand before they're going to want to be committed to it. Okay? And it requires a mandate from the top and a readiness to invest in the future. You know? And so you guys can give yourselves a round of applause for attending this event. This was an investment in your future. Yeah, and so branding is about seizing every opportunity to express why people should choose one brand over another. All right? And so what is it that you do?
Credit repair, business funding, and real estate.
All right? You.
Same thing.
All right? And so, interesting. Let's get into it. So why, in your opinion, if a person has to make a choice, why should they choose you over him?
Person.
Okay. Okay. Expound.
the person of who you are.
Yeah.
That's what I just feel. I can't really explain it. It's just the relationship that you got with that person, whether with him or with me.
Well, no, what I just met both of you guys, so we don't have a relationship. So what? And so in this moment, you don't need to say anything adverse about him. You just need to tell me why you're so fucking dope.
Oh, that's what you asking me?
That literally.
Well, I got a few results with a few clients that got cash flow in their business, got cars going on, and stuff like that. I can't really tell you too much because I'm just getting my feet wet now.
Okay, so you're new into your industry.
Yes, sir.
All right. So he's new. He's got a few clients. Why should they choose you?
Why should they choose me?
Literally.
Me because I'm an expert in the field. I'm always in masterminds perfecting my craft, and I go the extra mile for all my people.
Okay.
If they shop with me, they're gonna definitely get more than they bargain for. I'm a what they say, under promise, over deliver.
Okay. All right. So, ladies in the back, if you had to pick between these two, who would you pick and why?
It's a workshop. It's not no right
Yeah.
wrong answer. Just
Yes.
answer.
And we're not running for office here.
We're still friends.
Yes.
I'll pick him.
This is
Okay.
business. This is business.
Yeah, it is.
He's more confident,
Mhm.
and he basically just got straight to the point of
Uh-huh.
what he can provide.
Okay. Okay, got you. You? I said,
I would choose him because I'm one of those type of people. I'm trying to get all I can for a good deal, so I would choose him.
okay, got it. And so, based on what you experienced just now, who would you choose?
I'll definitely choose him.
Okay, got it. Exactly. Okay, and so again, it's branding. It's about seizing every opportunity to express why people should choose one brand over another. I read that, and then I went into an actual exercise in it. Hypothetical. It was completely freestyle. I don't know either one of you guys. And so that is essentially that's what branding is. And that process for success in branding includes brand identity. And the process demands a combination of investigation, strategic thinking, design, and then your project management. Okay? And so that branding process is conducting research, clarifying your strategy, designing identity, creating touch points, and managing assets. Okay.
I want to take a second, D. Is that exercise that he just did with y'all powerful? Like, y'all understand what he just did? Does that make sense on a marketing and branding level? Because as business owners, you did not do nothing wrong. We do this as business all the time, right? Everybody here has done that on a pitch, on a conversation. Oh, what do? I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A couple of y'all asked y'all when y'all came in, y'all said the same type of stuff, right? I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The difference if branding and like I'm going to get money with this person and I'm going to do something like, let's say Daniel, for example. Daniel is a huge, like he does so much amazing stuff in all different realms. But when you talk to Daniel, depending on what you do and where you at and where he's meeting you at, he's going to hit you with the thing that's most relevant and most valuable to you in that environment, in that moment. So in this environment, this moment, you don't got to talk in broad senses. When we talking with our homies, our family, we talking broad strokes. Hey, I do a little bit of, I help a couple of people. Listen to what he said. Specifics. You heard the difference between yours was broad and his was very specific. He said, I help credit, funding, real estate. I come to masterminds. I'm an expert. This is what I do. You were less confident, more open to generalization. The more specific you go, the more expert you are. The more it's felt. You see what I'm saying? Oh, he knows what he's talking about. And that's what we want to do when we're talking about branding. Is about bringing that element of your lifestyle and branding, what you really live and do, and making it very direct to the person so that they could feel it and take it away with them. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to be the biggest ROI for you guys. So I thought that exercise is very powerful because as business owners, we're always doing the same thing. We're generalizing. Because we're tired of hearing it. We've heard it 100 times. You know what I'm saying? But one thing Daniel does that's so great is every time he shows up at 100 to showcase the person who hasn't heard him. And that's really the important part. Even though she might know you, I never met you. Daniel never met you. Everybody here never met you. So when you come in and you tell them specifically, this is how I did, this is how I got my Mercedes. This is why, if you want to learn how to get a Mercedes like me, that's why you should be working with me. Boom. That already simplified a lot, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's just a little thing I wanted to touch on because I thought that was a really good.
Oh, I'm gonna choose him now because he got the Mercedes.
Look, there's a lot of scamming going on out here. That's just all I'm saying. Do not follow the car.
He's someone that gives back to the community. When all the nonprofit stuff that I do with him is like he impacts thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? Turkey drives, thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things that's what builds his brand. It's the public relations that he has with these nonprofits that show his humanity. He could go do the event for Ferrari and then go to the hood and be passing out turkey drives with the same level of excellence of event. You see what I'm saying? That is public relations, and that's what we need to do as a community when we're trying to build a business. You need to have that level of commitment to the brand and to the end goal of the brand. You see what I'm saying? Daniel's amazing at his personality comes through his business. So that's why he gets paid from his business to be himself. Same thing. Me and my cousin did the same thing. We just took our dreams and our passion, bottled it into our agency, and sold that, right? So you got to think about what that is for you and how you can actually bring that message across. Because your events, your relationships, your partnerships, all of those are branding. All of those are public relations, and all of those are telling a story. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason that you guys could trust me and have authorities because, like he said, most of the people that I'm bringing to y'all, these are people really doing shit in the cities that are not talking to nobody about this stuff. They're just doing it. They're real life doers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real life doer. I don't ever talk about this stuff. I just go do it. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why that's one of the keys, and that's one of the reasons why the PR side has value. Because at a certain point, if everybody's got their head down doing the work, but ain't nobody got no receipts nowhere that aren't their own, like I mean, everybody can take you to their own YouTube channel and you can see those numbers and that's cool. But is Black Enterprise talking about how dope this person is? Okay, is Inc. Magazine talking about how dope this person is? Is Forbes talking about how dope this person is? And so that'll be the difference between you speaking at the Revolt Conference and you speaking, you know what I'm saying, to the lunch ladies at, you know, some middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that'll be the difference. Because at a certain point, I'm going to need somebody else to tell me how dope you are. And it's not going to be about your numbers or any of those kinds of things. I need that, and I'm going to trust that brand more. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Perfect. So with that being said, we're going to get into the next segment. I really want to thank Daniel for coming through today and just dropping so many bars. Again, he does not have to be here. He's a friend tour of mine. Holds me down with so much stuff. And for him to be spending his time driving out here and giving game for y'all is truly, truly appreciated. So I just want to give a big hand of applause for my brother. Thank you so much, my brother.